Let's be honest, have you ever felt like your money just vanishes? One minute your account looks pretty good, and the next you're just wondering, where did it all go? Well, today we're going to fix that. And no, this isn't about boring spreadsheets or super strict rules. This is about empowerment. It's about you taking the wheel of your own finances and deciding exactly where you want to go. I absolutely love this quote from John C. Maxwell because it just nails it, right? Budgeting isn't about restriction, it's about direction. It's about shifting your mindset from being a passenger just watching your money fly by to being the pilot. And honestly, that little change in how you think, that's the biggest step you could possibly take. So, where do we even begin? Well, we start with the biggest, most important question of all. Where is your money actually going? The French have a great way of putting it. Où va votre argent? It's the absolute first step if you want to get any kind of clarity on your finances. Come on, we've all been there. Payday hits, you feel great, you're paying bills, buying groceries, living your life, and then, poof, it's gone. And you're left scratching your head, feeling like your bank account has this mysterious leak you just can't find. But what if you could finally see exactly where every single dollar is flowing? Okay, so once we figure out where the money is going, the next logical step is to make a budget. And I can practically hear the collective groan right now. I get it. The word budget just sounds restrictive, doesn't it? It sounds like a ton of financial homework. But I promise you, it is so much easier and way more empowering than you think. This quote from a woman named Sandra just captures that feeling perfectly. She said, "Frankly, I hate spreadsheets. I don't want to become an accountant." And you know what? She's absolutely right. The whole point of this is not to turn your life into a second job. That feeling of dread, it's totally normal, and it's exactly what we're about to tackle. And that's the real secret here. We are not aiming for some perfect, super complicated balance sheet. Just throw that whole idea out the window. The only goal here is clarity. Just getting a simple, easy-to-understand snapshot of your finances. No headaches required, I promise. So, how simple are we talking? This simple. Instead of trying to track every single coffee you buy, we can lump almost everything into just 8 basic categories. You've got your big ones, right? Rent or mortgage, food, and transportation. Then you have those recurring costs, like subscriptions. And then your lifestyle stuff, leisure, shopping, and health. And guess what? Everything else just gets tossed into other. See? That's a list you can actually handle. So after Sandra pushed through that initial resistance and just did it, this was her reaction. That frustration she felt, it completely flipped into motivation. Seeing it all written down in black and white was a total game changer for her. The mystery was finally gone, and for the very first time, she felt like she was actually in control. And here's what that clarity actually looks like. This is Sandra's real monthly budget. Out of her 1,400 euros in spending, you can see in an instant where the big chunks are going. It's not some vague feeling of, I think I spend too much on. No, this is concrete information. It's data you can actually use to make decisions. Okay, so you're motivated. You see the power in this. But how do you actually do it? Well, that brings us to our 3-month action plan. This is your super simple, step-by-step guide to getting this done. And the method itself? It's incredibly straightforward. It's just 2 steps. First, you're going to gather all your spending data from the last 3 months. We use 3 months because it smooths out any weird one-off expenses, like a car repair or a vacation, and it gives you a much more realistic picture. And second, you just calculate the monthly average for each of those 8 categories we talked about. That's it. Seriously. Now, you've got 2 ways to get this done. There's the easy way. Use a banking app that does all the heavy lifting for you. A lot of them automatically categorize your spending so you can just pull the numbers. Or there's the manual way. Sit down with your last 3 bank statements. Yeah, it's a little more work, but it's just as effective. It really just comes down to what you prefer. All right, now for a fantastic pro tip that can save you so much stress. It's a simple little mental trick that builds a safety buffer right into your finances. Think of it as your financial peace of mind. You know that horrible sinking feeling when an unexpected bill hits and bam, your account is suddenly overdrawn? Well, this tip is designed to make sure that never happens again. The idea is simple. You create an artificial zero. You intentionally leave a little cushion in your account so you never actually hit rock bottom. And this buffer doesn't have to be a massive amount of money. It could be 100 euros or maybe 500, whatever feels right for you in your situation. The exact number isn't really the point. It's the principle behind it that really matters.
So here's how it actually works. You create what we call a new zero. That €100 or whatever you decide becomes your new bottom line. If your account balance ever drops below that number, you treat it like an emergency, like you're overdrawn, even though technically you're not. It's a simple psychological trick that gives you this amazing built-in safety net.
Whew, we have covered a lot of ground, so let's just quickly boil it all down to the key takeaways. This is the stuff you really need to remember to get started. Okay, first, keep it simple. Remember, we're going for clarity, not perfection. Second, use those broad categories to make tracking a breeze. Third, use a 3-month average to get a real, honest picture of your spending. Fourth, create that new zero to give yourself a safety buffer. And finally, hey, use technology. If you can let an app do the hard work for you, why not? And this brings us right back to where we started. This whole exercise, it's not really about looking backwards at what you've spent. It's about designing your future. Because once you stop wondering where your money went, you finally get the power to decide where it's going to go next. So the question isn't, where did it go anymore? The question is, where will I send it?